Boozy Spirits with Matt Ray and Justin Grimble.
This is all you could ever ask for, Mike.
I like the intro.
It's an amazing intro.
Yeah.
They didn't even have to pay for it.
Is it weird having Walt say that?
No, I actually really love that.
Is he like your boss, your true boss?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I answer to Walt. And the citizens of Tuscaloosa.
Because he's everybody's true boss.
I think he is.
Shout out to Walt.
Yes.
If he listens.
Yeah, cheers.
So in studio today we have Ashley Kreitz from
I'm
the city
here,
of Tuscaloosa.
from the city.
And your official title is?
I am the executive director of urban development.
Which means?
Is that close by Urban Cookhouse?
It is, actually. You've caught on to us. No, what it means is basically any development that you see happening in Tuscaloosa is coming through my office.
Beautiful.
I've got building inspectors, I've got code enforcement officers, I've got the planners, and a group that does special projects. And so I know all the secrets.
I like
That's why
that.
my hair is so big. It's not just a Gretchen Wiener situation from Mean Girls. I truly know all the secrets.
I like it.
Yeah. So it's a lot of fun. I love what I do.
I might be calling you then.
You probably have to.
So when we pulled in today, I was like, oh my gosh! I remember when this building got rezoned for Eat My Beats and the drama involved in it.
And we never did anything. We were going to
No.
build a restaurant here.
Well, no, I'm thinking about the even older drama, like
really?
when y'all first moved in here.
I don't remember that.
It was either a subdivision or a rezoning case, but it was like right in 2013 when I got here.
Oh.
And the drama involved in like the neighbors being nearby. And yeah, see,
remember now.
why do
I
I
do.
remember this? This is your business.
I drink a lot.
And he's old.
I am old. Once you get about 50 something, you start losing.
Is that what happens?
Yeah, you lose your memory.
Okay. I'll try not to look forward to that too much.
I forgot about that.
That's what happens to me and Gio all the time. I'll call him. You won't answer. He'll call me 3 hours later. What'd you want? I'm like, I don't know.
Oh,
Dude,
yeah.
I forgot by now. Hell.
It's like, I've been doing a bunch of stuff. I forgot.
I mean, even for me, I've got to text somebody. If I call them and I'm like, hey, I don't know what it was. I'm really sorry.
Then you got a paper trail.
Yeah, very true. I texted you this and that.
Yeah,
you
right.
need to get back to me. Sure.
I like it.
Yeah. It's all
Or
about
they call you and just text them back like, I'm busy. Did you call?
I do that also.
I'm in a meeting.
I'm in a meeting. 9 times out of 10, I am in a meeting, but that 1 out of 10 time, I may just not want to answer the phone.
Always
That's
tell
okay.
them I'm going to call customer service. Can't switch over. I'm sorry. tell them all my secrets.
It makes it a lot easier.
It does.
So tell us what you brought here. 'Cause we're already drinking.
I was about to say
so-
we poured already. So I'm a shopper in alcohol stores because they're called alcohol stores in my head. But I look at cool jars and cool
Agree.
bottles, and that's how I pick things.
I
So
was holding it the wrong fucking camera.
I was wondering what you were doing.
this is called Swear Jar, and I felt like it was appropriate for this podcast and this group.
It is.
That says a lot.
Yeah.
I'm ashamed I've never bought one before.
I'm not going to pull a Hunter Johnson and go full radio on myself, but I
Right.
am going to try to
I like it.
zip my mouth up. I'm an army kid.
don't have to.
I came by it honestly.
Yeah, I'm sure.
The colorful things that I can put together and the things that I've heard my dad say, I'm like, man, what's happening?
I could do it like that, but my finger would get tired though.
That's true. This is not the group.
Just be the whole episode. Just
So what's your favorite swear word? I mean, what do you use the most? Not favorite, but what do you use the most?
It's embarrassing, but I probably do drop an exponential amount of F-bombs.
Okay.
same.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know it's not ladylike, and I think ladylike went out the door a long time ago for myself. But I think it can describe a litany of things. It's that noun, it's that verb, it's an adjective,
everything.
it's
Yep.
everything.
It can be happy. It can be sad. It can
Yes.
be pissed off.
Yeah. There's nothing quite like skiing down a mountain and just singing a little da 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 song in your head where you're like, I have messed up. I am not where I should be. I am not what I need to be doing, and all I can sing is the fuckity fuck song.
Yeah, I agree with you. Or I hate when you have friends and they're like, "Oh gosh darn it!" I'm like,
Just say it. Yeah.
"You should probably leave."
For a long time in the office, I think we tried to have some level of decorum, and then we got into a place where I think we all just realized, like, it was a lot better to establish the cussing office.
Yeah.
And that was mine.
Yeah, for sure.
And so, like, you need to come cuss something out? Let's go.
Yeah. I could see, like, at city council, that'd be a bad thing, but, like, behind the doors, like, we're all grown-ups.
Yeah.
Right.
If you just need to get it out of your system, like, come on. Let's go. It's better than holding it inside and bottling it up. But, yes.
Getting road rage. You leave.
Yeah. What about y'all? Best swear word?
I'm definitely F word. Yeah.
She already took that one.
But I mean, that's what I say the most.
Trying to think. Probably motherfucker.
Are you taking it up?
Oh, I mean, oh, not really. That's just mine. Say it a
Just
lot.
a whole combination.
Yeah.
I didn't know we could add on.
I'll be driving down the road and say it, and 10-year-old be like, what'd they do?
I think the best thing my parents ever did was they weren't swear words. They weren't bad words. They were just adult words. And so I've got a nephew now that's 2.5. And
You're teaching him these words?
no,
Should.
Aunt Lee did not do this. We went, so my brother and nephew came skiing with us back in February. My sister-in-law wasn't able to go. And so it was just sweet little 2.5-year-old and my family. Nice. And I was like, oh my gosh, this kid, like, he's going to start saying bad words, Trav. And he was like, no, remember, they're adult words. And we'll just tell Paxton that they're adult words. I'm like
it.
This is not how this works. But okay, sure.
It does sound better.
Yeah, well, and it makes it not as taboo. They're just
Right.
for adults.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Instead of them being good or bad, because that's all relative.
And you got to be good at it, too. That's how they get flow into sentences.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The art of the cuss word.
Yeah, you can't just throw it in there. Make it sound stupid.
Yeah. Or it makes you sound like you're trying too hard.
Like, be like, so what's your fucking job? Like,
Yeah, that would be weird. Unless you were like really mad at me about what my job was.
Doesn't sound good.
Yeah.
What's your official fucking title?
Yeah, no. See, somebody was like, who the fuck do you think you are? On the phone with me. And I was like, thank you so much, sir. Please have a good day. And I just hung up and I went and told my like supervisor at the time, because his thing was always like, if somebody cusses at you, you're a city employee. You don't have to take that. I was like, I feel that. And so I hung up and I went and told him. And that guy still, like, I run into him from time to time. And he's just like, oh my gosh, you're so helpful. And in my head, I'm like, I remember.
I remember you.
I remember.
We had a lady one day at the restaurant, this was 10 years ago, that was going to call the cops on me because we overcharged her.
Oh.
But we actually didn't. But she's like, I'm going to call the cops. You're stealing. I'm like, here's the phone. Like,
Yeah,
call
here's the
them.
phone. Just do it.
Call them. Tell them we overcharged you $2 for cheese dip. Come arrest me.
Oh, gosh. Over cheese dip.
Yeah.
I get that. Dude,
Yeah.
times are tough out there. I mean,
That was like 10 years ago.
Okay.
You're gonna
Oh,
get
times
it
are
at
no
the
longer
sanctuary.
tough.
Yeah. Biden fixed all that for us.
Oh, here we go. No, I'm kidding.
That's what TV tells us.
that
Very
is true.
The internet. If it's on the internet, it must be true. So
See, she knows.
I know.
It is true.
I'll text Matt like rabbit hole stuff I find in the middle of the night.
Yes, he does.
Dude, listen. So I was back in Missouri because I'm from Missouri. I guess, well, that's the family farm is there, but I'm an Army kid. And we just ended up moving to the family farm in 2000. And I went back to Missouri for the total eclipse. Here for it. It was awesome.
How was it? I mean,
So freaking
weather
cool.
was great.
Yeah, we had clear blue skies. It was perfect. But the number of conspiracy theories that I saw
I was
on
all in on it.
I loved it. I loved every second of it.
I should have been texting you. I was texting him and Kyle South, and they just laughed at me.
Like the whole, the 7 cities named Salem and the 7 cities named Nazareth,
Yeah.
and they intersect at Rapture. And I'm like,
yeah, I was all over it.
y'all, like that. Number one, that's not even biblical. Number
Right.
2, stop. Like, just stop.
I was all the way down the rabbit hole, like 2 a.m. on the phone.
Oh yeah.
My wife was like, "What are you doing?" I'm like, "You gotta read this shit." She's like, "Shut the fuck up, go to sleep."
What
Oh,
other
this shit is real.
What conspiracies did I miss then? Because all I
Oh, no,
really
I was-
ran into was Rapture situation.
Yeah.
And then my church had, like my home church when I was home, did church outside. And
they're
the little
ready for
praise
it.
band, well, so thankfully, no. If they had been like #ready for it, I think my whole family would have been like, we're going home. This isn't all
They're
right.
passing out the Kool-Aid.
Yeah.
Do not drink that.
But like my home church was also in the path of totality, and it was listed like USA Today. A lot of places were like, you should watch the eclipse in Poplar Bluff, Missouri. Like, it's going to be great. And so there were a ton of people
I saw
who
the
came
traffic
from out of
and stuff.
town.
It was insane.
It was
It was like
crazy.
a football game day traffic.
But on the interstate,
it was insane.
And so our church just wanted to do service outside so those traveling might feel more open to sitting out there. And the first song the praise band did was I Saw the Light. And I was like, oh, hell, what are we doing? Like, awesome. I got my phone out so I could Snapchat it. I was like, well, this is happening.
That's awesome.
And my dad was like, stop it. I'm like, Dad, seriously, man.
Yeah.
Like,
who did the set list?
Yeah. Well, and then, of course, lo and behold, the sun did come out as the song was playing. And I was like, okay. Point made. Point taken. I get it.
I think the best rabbit hole I got down was that they're doing chemtrails in the sky.
Yes.
To cover up the eclipse because it wasn't really the moon.
Yeah, the
something else.
moon was not a thing. Yep.
Yeah, it's like an alien ship.
Really?
Yeah, I did see that the other day too. That the moon, where was the moon? And I'm like, do you understand science?
I understand science, but I love that conspiracy theory though. I was like, this makes no sense, but I'm all in.
Yeah, done, sold. I will drink all the Kool-Aid on this one.
Mm-hmm.
Easy enough. So, what'd y'all think of swear jar?
I'll give it 2 thumbs up. It's
I
pretty
would
good.
too. Yeah. What about you?
Yeah, I'll go. I'm gonna go.
I'd probably go 1 thumb.
I'm gonna go
honestly.
1 thumb.
I do too. I just like Canadian whiskey.
Yeah.
I'm not a big
It's
Crown
great,
Royal
yeah.
fan, but like
Mm-hmm.
this tastes more true Canadian.
Uh-huh.
It's like it's kind of dangerous because it's not stout.
Yeah, it's really smooth. Like that
It's
first.
40%, so I mean it's up there, but it just tastes like sweet tea.
Oh gosh, can you imagine mixing it with sweet tea?
Oh, it'd be really
That'd be really
dangerous.
good. Yeah. That'd be the kind of like just park yourself outside,
Yeah.
beautiful day, go.
See, if we had an intern, he can go get us sweet tea.
I guess we need to work on that.
Just get one of your college guys.
That's what we were talking about yesterday. It's like they could work this whole board and
You could just really focus on drinking,
yeah,
not
Here
have
it
to
is.
worry about all
so
that
tough.
shit.
Yeah.
Edit.
The intern could run Uber services
Yeah.
for
So
everyone.
I got an Uber intern, editor, post, graphics,
What do I do?
drink.
You just show up. Color commentary, man.
This is definitely the technical guy. He does everything.
But it works.
Yeah, it's exciting.
We make it work.
I'm here for it.
Yeah, this is like a light maple syrup taste to it,
Okay.
like a caramelly
I can see
maple
that, yeah.
syrup.
It's like okay, I get that.
Like if it was a higher proof, it'd be money.
Like a skinny syrup.
Yes,
Whiskey.
exactly.
I mean, it's probably less sugar than syrup. So
Oh, probably so.
6 years old, swear jar.
I just thought the bottle was cool.
Yeah, I've seen it in ABC before. I've never got
Yeah.
it.
They sell it here?
Yeah.
I went and visited your friends up at Fifth and Handle.
Okay. Awesome.
Yeah, and I was like, that's a cool bottle.
Well, he's got it
They
there.
were super friendly.
Son of a bitch.
Yeah.
You didn't bring them in the house. I like Brie.
Yeah, I showed up on Saturday, I think. I was like, so listen, just help me out here. I'm going on boozy spirits, and I need to bring like a couple fun things with me, and I also just need some alcohol at my house.
That was a real reason.
Yeah, that was it.
Did he recognize us? Because he had somebody else that works some that times too. So
It might have been the guy that did not recognize you, because when I said that, he was like, okay,
was he a white dude?
yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Brie's Indian.
Oh yeah, it was the other guy.
That was
The other guy.
It was not Brie.
No.
Bree's a good dude. One day we had a friend over at the house, and our neighbors, we call him Backwoods. He's from Mississippi.
Yeah.
So somebody's pounding on the door. They're like, "Whose redneck is this?" And opens the door, and it's Bree. And he's like, "I'm brown neck."
Gosh.
He's like, "I'm not redneck." Go light on me.
Serious?
I got a valet.
That's true.
What you pouring?
Ben Holiday. 6 year.
Oh,
from
the Missouri.
From
Okay,
Missouri.
listen.
You tell me
asked-
when.
Oh. There.
I like one. Yesterday I was texting Ashley and I told her, like, yeah, I'll pick you up and you don't have to worry about driving. And I sent her a picture. I think, I don't know who was it, Walt or somebody was on here, Ron Phillips. I was like, yeah, we're all pretty lit. She's like, oh, that's good for tomorrow then since you're driving. I was like, I don't get that drunk. She's like, oh, that's good. It doesn't matter. Whatever.
It is what it is,
Justin
man.
doesn't.
Yeah. So this is Missouri straight bourbon whiskey. Can I
Yes.
see the bottle? Where's it
Of
from?
course.
Like, where in Missouri do we think we're out of?
I don't remember if we talked about it. We hadn't posted that review yet.
I don't even know. I don't even know what
So
that is.
you never had this?
I've never even heard of it.
They have a bunch of different varieties.
They
of it.
really do.
Or not varieties. What's the
Bottled and bond and
Weston,
rye and
Missouri.
types? What's the word?
varieties.
It's a different word.
Weston.
Expressions.
That's got to be in North Missouri.
You find it on there?
Yeah, it's on the backside on the white part.
Weston. Let's look them up. Intern.
Intern, do the research for us now.
Now
I
that-
bet you. So, guessing in my Missouri map in my head, I think it's going to be north, probably Kansas City area.
Let's see. Weston.
Mm-hmm.
Weston MO.
Dude, that's a 6-year. Look how dark it is. 120 proof.
Oh my gosh. Why? But why?
The shittiest map I've ever seen.
Oh,
Didn't
it
have-
smells beautiful though.
It is good.
I think we rated it pretty high, didn't we?
It's a little bit of burn on my nose.
Like, it's not even really in Missouri. It's like all the way to the left.
North of Kansas City.
It's like a little
I feel better about me now.
extra Missouri. I didn't know Missouri had that. That's weird.
Oh yeah, that's our little flap.
It looks like Alabama. Hey, we got a little extra.
It's like I'm a little teapot. Like that's that part of Missouri.
Never been to Missouri, I don't think.
Listen, it's really pretty. It really is. So I was born in Washington State,
Okay.
and we moved to California. Spent 4 years in Orange County, California. So I got to do the Rodney King riots. I got to do the O.J. Simpson
Beautiful.
slow chase.
Nice.
R.I.P. And then Northridge earthquake. And we moved. The Northridge earthquake, I had a waterbed.
Awesome.
Like I
That was
was,
legit.
I was a 6-year-old with a waterbed.
That is sweet.
And I think my grandmother was down, if I remember that earthquake correctly. And I knew, like, when the earthquakes happened, I was supposed to roll out of my bed and low crawl because I'm an Army kid.
Yeah.
So I'm low crawling down the hallway to my parents' room. And our thing was we would huddle up and, like, you're supposed to stand in the doorway. Like, that's the thing.
Yep.
My grandmother, my dad tells the story about her walking down the hallway, just bouncing, because she was from St. Louis and she had never experienced an earthquake before like that. So she's just bouncing
Freaking out
wall
over
to
it.
wall. Gregory!
We had, let's see. I guess this would technically be episode 30.
Oh,
So one of our 29 guests before you, he army crawled.
why?
Yes, he did.
We'll have to leave that part out.
Oh, God.
This was after the show.
Oh, that makes sense. Okay.
Anyway, this says, I lost it. So this classifies as a real Missouri bourbon under a 2019 law requiring that any whiskey labeled as Missouri bourbon not only meet federal standards for bourbon, but also be mashed, fermented, distilled, aged, and bottled in Missouri.
So northern Missouri has a lot more farmland, which makes a lot more sense. Like southern Missouri, you've got the Boot Heel area that was its own plantation at one point in time, which is why it's in Missouri and not Arkansas.
Okay.
And our part, like the Ozark foothills, it's just really forested and beautiful. You can't farm shit on it.
Right.
Like we've got 250 acres that we live on, another 150. We run horses and cows. And by horses, I have a horse and a mule. And we used to have cows, and now we don't anymore. So we just cut timber. I swear, Dad's going to get cows again. I'm just going to come home at some point, and he's going to have cows. And I'm
Have a
just
ton
going to
of
go,
cows.
Gregory, why?
So what's the most cows he's had at one time?
Honestly, I don't remember how many we had. We sold them all in 2008. And I want to say probably 40, 50, somewhere in there. But, like, good gracious. I'm really good at building fence. I love barbed wire. It's so easy to work with. There's nothing quite like hugging a tree as your dad is nailing a barbed wire staple into a tree and you're like, Dad, I need you to hurry up, please. There are seed ticks crawling all over my arms as I'm hossing on this hammer. Let's go.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it's a good time.
That is fun.
Every time I go home, the folks at work are like, "Are you gonna build more fence?" And I'm like, "Yeah, or cut trees."
Put you to work.
Yeah, exactly. So it's a good time. I love it.
Y'all know the bird family?
The who?
The bird family
Who are the birds?
from the Ozarks.
Okay.
Pop culture.
Here's the deal. I never watched Ozark.
It's fucking good.
It is good.
I watched the first 2 episodes, and it was too real.
Really?
Like, it was too real. I know that girl. I went to school with that girl. Like, I know those people. There's a meth house. Well, it's not really a meth house.
It's really
I
good.
say it's a meth house, though, as we, like, drive to our farm. Like, there's a little house on the left. I'm like, well, meth house is still there. Hasn't burned down yet. But, no, my grandparents live on, like, the Ozarks, too. And so when they were doing the shots and things, and that's all shot in Georgia, which is a real bummer. Like,
That's
if you're gonna call something Ozark,
I agree with you.
go to Lake
Right.
of the Ozarks.
Yeah.
At least a drone and get like lake footage or
Get
something.
real lake footage. And they may have. I think I looked into it because I was getting really indignant about, like, why would you just show Georgia? Lake of the Ozarks is there. But anyway, I just never watched it because the docks and the lakeside things, it was too real. Too real.
It's really good.
That's what I hear. I love
finish
Jason
it?
Bateman.
Oh, yeah.
It's good.
Does Jason Bateman die?
I don't remember. I can't tell you.
No spoilers.
He doesn't.
I don't
That's
know.
good.
I really
See,
don't
Matt
remember.
understands. Like, I'm not going to watch it at this point.
He could have been lying though.
I just need to know.
He doesn't.
What's the curly-haired girl? I loved her.
Does the curly girl... See, that's the girl, like,
That was in the trailer.
I went to
Ruth.
school with.
Ruth.
Yeah. I felt like I went to
She
school
was
with that girl.
badass.
She was a badass.
You should watch it.
Maybe one day. If I'm feeling nostalgic,
It's really good.
I need home, I'll just watch Ozark. Like, oh, wow.
I don't know how we got off on that tangent, but it was good.
Again, I will say the weird thing. I feel like that's how that happens.
So you like to ski?
I do. I love snow skiing. I learned, I was 21 when I learned. And so,
Last year.
yeah, for sure. For sure. We're not going to math. I've been skiing for 14 years, though.
Okay.
It was great, though. I had to be coaxed down the mountain the first time they got me to the very top. We took ski lessons. And from there on, it's just been go. And it's a cool thing.
Cool. Never been skiing.
Really?
I got shitty knees. I snapped my knee in half.
That's
ankles.
okay. They can build you a new one. I saw Lindsey Vaughn got a knee replacement. I'm like, well, hell, if Lindsay can do it.
She's also a superior athlete, so it's a little
Yeah.
different.
We're all athletes
She's built like
in
a
our own way.
linebacker
That's right.
Lindsay?
in a good way.
I guess maybe, yeah, she is.
I guarantee she'll recover faster than any of us from anything.
Very
yeah.
much so. Yeah, I agree with that.
Except a hangover. I'm pretty good at that.
Get over a hangover. That liquid IVs and water boys, all that stuff, those have been game changers.
It does make a
Makes a
difference.
huge difference.
What you think about the Missouri?
It's got some heat behind it,
It's 120 proof.
but I
It's up
like
there.
it.
It's up there for sure.
See, this is definitely 2 thumbs up for me.
Did we give it 2 thumbs up on the review?
I think we did.
I don't remember.
I think
don't
y'all did as
remember
you were
either.
busy calling me out.
I don't know because we never posted it. I need to
think
post
we-
it.
We drank some, maybe during Hayes' show.
Lots.
We drank a lot then.
I mean, it's down a bit. You've at least done a little damage to it.
It's always scary. Like in the morning, you're like, man, that was good yesterday. And you come down, it's like down here. You're like, oh shit.
Yeah, mistakes have been made.
That's why I feel the way I do. That's why I feel like I lost the battle. It happens.
It does happen.
It does.
To the best of us.
I give it 2 thumbs up. I like it.
Yeah, it's really good. 2 thumbs.
So what's urban development look like in Tuscaloosa right now? Is it slow? Interest rates high?
Interest rates being high has impacted some commercial development. It has really not impacted residential. I've been looking at like the year over year trends for residential permits, and we're kind of on par or even a little bit ahead of where we were last year. But commercial permits are still just a touch slow. Nothing to be worried about in my head. We're never running and gunning.
Right.
But if things ever got really, really slow, I'd start waving some flags and saying, hey, friends, we probably need to take a look at things.
Yeah.
So
Is
we've
it
got...
Is it always busy in your position?
oh, my
always something
gosh.
happening?
Every day's different, and I'm so thankful for that.
Yeah.
But, you know, it's what fire are we putting out today? What did we not think was going to happen that actually did happen? And, of course, we're in the middle of a full city code update. And
That's fun
is it?
for us.
For all of us. Yeah, it's so we've been doing this since 2018. And we adopted a comprehensive plan in the middle of a pandemic. I recommend none of that.
Is that framework?
Yeah. Oh, look at you.
I study
You
a little
did,
bit.
just
I do.
a little bit.
I do.
Yeah, framework is my baby. I quoted Leslie Knope when we adopted it. Little Parks and Rec action. But now we've been doing the code updates, and our zoning ordinance is from 1972. And I have stopped saying, "Oh my God, it's so old," because I know so many 50-year-olds now. I know. I felt like it was a kindness at this point, but yeah, we've got
But
to.
that's a long time.
For a zoning
Yes.
ordinance, like
Yeah.
we still reference a telegraph office in our zoning ordinance. So if you ever need to go beep 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 something out, like holler at me. I'll tell you where you can put your office.
I would say it's
That-
not just Tuscaloosa either, just Alabama as a whole.
Alabama as a whole
Yeah.
has not had a very heavy emphasis on planning. And I think I've over the last 11-ish years, I've seen Tuscaloosa at least really start paying attention to the idea of, and it's not touchy-feely, let's hold hands, sing kumbaya planning. That's not my kind of planning. But it's all of these systems are integrated, engineering and streets and water systems, land uses. You've got to know where that is so economic development can happen correctly. And we're realizing that this office of humans exists and there are plans. And so it's been really cool just to see that trust be rebuilt after the tornado and that whole planning process that was kind of, it hurt a lot of folks, I think, because they didn't feel heard. The business community didn't feel heard in that whole process. And so as we started rebuilding, I'm proud of the fact that the business community trust me to do the right thing. I'm proud of the fact that the neighborhood community trusts me to do the right thing. And so I think it's just, we're in a really nice place, even though my day-to-day is not just urban planning. I'm chasing building inspectors around and making sure.
All kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Trying to figure out ABC laws.
ABC, listen, Linda, that was a small moment in my life.
Ours too.
Yeah.
Like Walt said, you need to do this. Tony said no. What's the zoning dude? Zach. Zach said no.
Yeah.
Gio said, I was like, we're good. He's like, no, ask Walt. Walt's like, let's hash Kreitz. No, we're good. Ronnie called him. We're good. We can open. Next morning, motherfucker.
Yeah. Christ came to jalapenos, and I was like, yeah, no, you're not good, buddy. I'm really sorry. And I hate stuff like that too. Like those moments where we're not at our best.
Yeah. But I mean, it all worked out though.
It did. And thankfully,
We're not, I'm sure if it would have been somebody else, they would have freaked out on y'all or whatever, but
yeah.
we had a built-in cushion, so it didn't really affect us.
Yeah,
It was just some hoops to jump through.
And the hoops, are results of various and sundry issues that have happened in the past.
Yeah, which
So,
I understand.
Yeah.
what-
When you've got reputable establishments doing what is going to be the correct thing, it's not that, it's frustrating, but it's not
Especially
that bad
like I always say, one person screws everything up.
for the whole. Yeah. Consistently. And I try to make sure we're not making rules just because somebody messed up and thinking that's now going to become the norm. But when that does become the norm, that's
then you
where
have
it's
to-
all right, I got something in my back pocket. Let's do this.
Yeah, you have to adjust
Let's
for
get
sure.
this fixed.
I think it's like that in all businesses too, though.
True.
One screw up happens and it happens multiple times, and you got to sit down okay, this is going to keep happening. We got to figure out how to fix it.
Yeah.
Yes.
Let's add it to the handbook. And
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden the handbook is just 1,000 miles thick and no one's reading it. And it's well, now I got you. And it's well, listen, I didn't read the handbook because it's 1,000
It's
pages.
from the 1970s.
Right.
That's like when I bought. I was telling you about my Tesla. When I bought my
Yeah.
Tesla, I couldn't buy it in Alabama. I had to buy it in Tennessee, because in Alabama they have a law that you have to buy from a dealership.
which is crazy.
So Tesla doesn't have dealerships. You go online, order it, pay for it, and they ship it to you.
What?
So they shipped it from California
Crazy.
on rail to Birmingham, in an 18-wheeler to Nashville, and I went and picked it up.
What?
Yeah.
Does that rule still exist?
Yes.
Yes.
And
I
then
can't.
It even exists in Texas, where they're building Teslas now. So if you live in Austin next to the factory and you buy a Tesla, you have to go to Oklahoma to pick it up.
That'll change quick
Yeah,
in
they're-
Texas.
Yeah, they're working on that.
It's
but like,
got
it's so,
to.
it's so stupid because they don't have dealerships.
That's insane. I mean, I guess like I ordered my Bronco and I had to pick it up. A Bronco Sport. Let me be very clear. I'm not that fancy. It's like it's an escape on steroids,
Like
and I'm cool
OJ?
with that.
Did he have a Bronco?
I was inspired.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is it white?
No, it's cactus gray, whatever that color is. Like honestly, what is that?
I've never seen a gray cactus.
Right? Every time I go, like when I
was
go to
colorblind, maybe.
PetSmart and pick up, pet food, I'm like, other color. It's not blue, it's not green. It's just weird. Like some green beige. Is that even a thing? I don't even know. But yeah, I guess I didn't even think about the fact that you really aren't supposed to buy not from a dealership.
I guess when you ordered it, you went through a dealership.
I went through a dealership.
Yeah, so Tesla doesn't have it. So
Yeah.
it's like some kind of, not a loophole, just like a roadblock, I guess. So like you have to go to either Mississippi, Tennessee, or Atlanta,
That's so dumb.
or Louisiana, Alabama. You can't.
That's so dumb.
And what really sucked was I bought it, got a loan for it.
Yeah.
When I went to get my tag, I had to pay all the Alabama taxes, like $3,000, because it's not in the loan. Which really, I knew it ahead of time, so I was
Yeah.
prepared. But it still sucks.
See, and the way I've always this is the second vehicle I've bought now, and I always just kind of build the tax title and license into,
Into
the
the
loan.
Yeah, you don't have to worry about it.
Yeah.
Bump up your payment a little, but
Right.
So that sucks buying a Tesla. Anybody that does it, when you go buy a tag,
That's unfortunate.
so a couple people I've known,
And for electric is a lot more, right?
Yeah.
For tax and
like
title.
$250
because
extra a year.
You're not paying the gas tax.
Yeah,
Oh,
they got you on that one.
Yeah.
stabbings.
I always tell people when they're like, "Yeah, I'm gonna get a Tesla," I'm like, "You don't have to pay $4,000 tag, just so you know."
No,
'Cause
thank you.
If you didn't know, that would suck. Like, go get
Yeah.
your tag, like $600 or whatever, and they're like, "That's
Right.
$4,000." You're like,
No.
Guess I won't be driving.
Yeah, this is just going to sit. It's really cool that I have it.
Can I have those 10-day tags, like permanently?
So why did you get a Tesla? Just for funsies?
Yeah, I just love it. I'm a big Elon fan.
Okay.
I'm a nerd.
Okay, that's fair.
It was 0 to 60 in 3 seconds.
Oh, God.
It was fun.
Okay. That makes a lot of sense then. I ask because I didn't know if you were like, green boy.
No,
Yeah.
that's what my neighbors make fun of me. And then I got an electronic mower, and they're like, "Oh yeah, he's super liberal, saving the earth."
yeah.
I'm like, "No, I was tired of buying gas and oil and mixing it, and I'm like, it's just easier."
I legitimately, I hate having to fill up gas tanks
Yeah.
or gas cans and like stick them in a vehicle. There's something about it that
I mean, it's
just
just-
freaks me out.
First world problems, but like, I'm gonna cut the grass. You go out there and it's empty. You're like, "Fuck it."
Damn it,
Like,
yeah.
It's 5 minutes away, but
Right.
you're like, "Nah."
Nah, I'm good. The grass will keep
So,
growing.
yeah, it had nothing to do with the environment.
Code enforcement will come get you, but it's fine. Just don't let it get over a foot tall.
Yeah. They're still trying to get me in my neighborhood because I don't have a tree.
You're supposed to have a tree?
Yeah. But I ripped it up because it was in the way when I was mowing the grass. And it
Those pencils.
And it never grew. Like when I moved in, it was this big, and 5 years later, it was like this big.
Oh, so you're
It
just
looks
in trouble
stupid.
with your HOA.
Yeah.
Oh, those are
They
easy
said at
things.
my earliest convenience, I told them I was busy till 2025. They don't like me. Then I
That's
got
fair.
drunk and bought a fake tree. I was going to plant it, but then a real tree showed up.
Oh,
I pushed the wrong button. I'm still going to get me a fake one.
I think you should. I love
It'll
like
look pretty all year.
because we don't regulate HOA stuff,
Mm.
you know, I love HOA fights. I think it's the best. Especially when short-term rentals came about
Oh, yeah.
and the HOAs were like, "You can't have
do
this
that."
here." And I'm like, "I don't care. You can sue your neighbor. I have to permit this right
Yeah.
now."
I got to defund the HOA flag and hung it up for a little while.
How'd that go for you?
My wife got pissed. She's like, "Take it down. You're always starting stuff." I'm like,
Yeah.
It's funny. Everybody likes it.
Jeez.
Except the HOA.
Yeah. The HOA is like, "Please take this down, sir. We will increase your monthly payments."
Might get another one.
Yeah.
Fly to my truck like the high schoolers do.
Oh,
Drive through the
gross.
Yeah, the
neighborhood.
big one. Yeah.
Gross.
Drive through the neighborhood.
That was
Hawking.
that's not a thing. Number one, we didn't have football. Like my hometown's so small. We had baseball, softball in the fall and spring, and then in the winter you played basketball if you were a sporty person.
So
that
no
was
football
it.
at all.
No football at all. Yeah,
Crazy.
yeah.
That is weird.
I mean, what? How do you have a football team when your school system is like 600 people total? Like I graduated with 67. We couldn't have fielded a football team.
You could.
7-on-7.
I graduated with 14 at ACA
Okay, okay. That's different.
before they got big.
That was a personal choice.
No, sorry, we had 17 in the Jap. But we had a football team. We did.
I don't even know what that means.
Exactly what I said it means.
Yep. You just gotta process it for a second. Like, just let it simmer.
Oh.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
That was back when they were on MLK, the funeral home place now.
That's right.
Right
I
down the
remember
road
that.
from Archibald's.
Oh, yeah.
Real little.
Didn't know that was where they were.
Not the powerhouse, big old campus they are now.
Yeah. See, so when I showed up here in 2013, like I interviewed for the job on Skype. Yeah, I was wildland fire training. And I saw this job post after I finished my master's, and I'd been applying for things. And I was just like, okay, I'd love to get back to the South, and I'm not going to move. I don't want to be on the East Coast. I don't want to be, all these random places. All of a sudden, it was like, okay, Tuscaloosa, Alabama. Could not remember where it was, in all truth and honesty. So I applied for the job, sent my stuff in, and I was still working my connections with the Forest Service because I'd worked for them for like 4 or 5 summers. And I thought I wanted to work for the Forest Service at the national level, write policy for wildfire prevention, how you utilize zoning to mitigate wildfire, like super nerd stuff. I don't even care. Listen, I love it. I think it's really cool. And anyway, whatever. So I was doing wildfire training at Job Corps, like a Mingo Job Corporation situation. And it was, Kreitz, you need to not wear makeup. Like, don't look like a girl. I'm like, okay. They're like, wear baggy clothes. Like, just don't do this. And I'm like, got you, boo. So I show up the day of my interview. I'd worked it out with HR, and I said, hey, listen, service in my part of the world is really weird. I don't think Skype is going to work because this is 2013. I mean, technology was still not there. I said, can we just do a phone interview? HR is like, yes, that is totally fine. And so I left the training piece with like 15 minutes before the interview starts. I'm sitting on the floor. I've got my notes in front of me, and I'm ready. We're going to do this because I got tripped up by an interview out of Jackson, Wyoming. And they were like, what form of government do we have? And I was like, I don't know.
America.
Yeah. You are a city. I don't know. So I had notes on notes on notes. I knew the 6 core beliefs at the time. I had all kinds, like the mayor's standard of excellence. I knew all the stuff. I was ready for any question that they asked. And then my phone starts making a noise I'd never heard it make before. And I had 2 popped collars on. Like, it was February. It was cold in Missouri. And I had a fleece with a tall collar and a vest with a tall collar. My hair's piled on top of my head, no makeup. And my phone says, you're receiving a Skype call. And I was like, well, guess this is just another practice interview at this point. Not going to get this job. And so I answered, and I'm just sitting, like I'm cross-legged on the floor, and I'm like, hi. And I couldn't see them, but they could see me apparently, because again, the connection was bad because it's Southeast Missouri, and no one cares about cell service in Southeast Missouri in 2013, or even today. But that's beside the point. And we got through the interview, and I was just, because I thought it was over, I was just even more blunt than usual. I was like, well, this is just practice, and we'll see what happens. And then they called at the end, and they're like, hey, we forgot to ask you to fill out all these forms for background checks. And I didn't think about the fact that, like, that was promising. And then I was substitute teaching at my old high school. And I checked my email, like, a few weeks later, and I was like, oh, my God. Like, they just offered me the job based on that interview. So that's why I'm here. So really, this is the moral of a God story, but honestly, I'm very thankful for it. But when we got here, I hadn't been to Tuscaloosa. And so I found an apartment. I lived at Bent Tree when I first got here at Hargrove and 10th. Mm-hmm. It was fine. Mm-hmm. Totally fine. And we stayed at the Microtel Inn and Suites by Home Depot because I had a cat. Still have her. She's 14 almost. But I had a cat. She's in great shape. Listen, that girl does not look 14. She's an inbred farm cat. My guess is she lives forever. But when we got to town, my mom was navigating, which is not ideal. Sorry, Jules. I know she's going to watch this, and she's going to be like, now. I'm sorry. Anyway, we ended up by the school on Crescent Ridge Road that got blown over by the tornado. And we're driving. I'm following my parents. I'm like, oh, my God, what have I done? What have I done? What am I doing? Why am I here? It was that moment of panic. And we just kind of settled in and got it done. So, like, I chose to be here. I know we talk about, like, how with Elevate, people are choosing their communities before their jobs. Mm-hmm. That wasn't me.
Yeah.
I picked the job, and the community followed. And honestly, I don't buy it. I really don't. I think people are still chasing jobs. I don't know. Matt says no. Matt says I'm wrong.
I don't know.
We had 2 interns last year that helped us with the sanctuary. And both of them went to Denver.
Yeah.
Or that was where they were going.
Well, good for them.
And they found a job there.
Yeah.
But they were going to move to Denver regardless
That was what
and
they were
find
doing.
whatever job was available.
Maybe it depends on your field of work too.
I think that's probably fair too.
It is. And if you like to smoke dope, I mean,
Yeah.
it is legal.
That's probably their decision.
Missouri's legal.
Missouri is legal, recreational.
Alabama's not. Can't buy a fucking car, much less a joint.
No.
Thank you. You can't get
Well,
high
we-
and drive your Tesla.
That's why I sold it.
We haven't even been able to figure out the medical side of things here in Alabama.
Which is crazy.
I was surprised that Missouri passed recreational. But I passed by the dispensary that's there in Poplar Bluff a couple times, and I was like, good God. Like, they were just lying. And they have a drive-through. And they have a drive-through
I mean,
dispensary.
you need a drive-through dispensary.
I don't understand
I don't
it.
want to get out. But I
don't
do like to
understand
get out and, see what's
Peruse?
there. Yeah. Smell.
What is this?
Check the different ones.
Yeah. But I drove past it, and all the people from out of state were, like, just lined up.
So you have
Ready to eclipse.
Whenever that happens, you have that in your back pocket. Like, oh, here's the framework for it.
Here's what we do. Yeah, honestly.
Already been working on it.
If Missouri knows how to do it,
Yeah.
my gosh. I mean, I know Scott mentioned, like,
Very
the
little.
whole idea. We love Scott. I know Scott
Love Scott.
mentioned
I do too.
the whole, like, when CBD started happening, we were like, oh, God, what do we do with this?
Yeah.
Because especially the fact that, like, you'll pop positive. Well, whether it's Delta 8,
Yeah.
all of
Yeah.
that stuff. It doesn't
Doesn't
matter.
matter. I
Right.
can't tell the difference.
No. And so how do you manage that as an employer?
Yeah.
I think you're mostly just hoping your employees don't crash into something, quite frankly.
Right.
Because they could be high as a kite and something happened. And they're
Right.
like, oh, here, I bought these at the gummy store
Right.
and gas
These
station.
were
They're legal.
These were
Even
legal
though
Delta
they
8s
didn't.
at a gas station.
Yeah.
Exactly. So,
Can't tell the difference.
Yeah.
I mean, we tried. We tried to put something into code.
Yeah.
We didn't try hard. We did some really fun presentations about CBD and marijuana, and we were like, well, this feels silly. We're gonna stop. It just didn't go anywhere. So we're ready when the time comes.
That'd be one of the things, like, the whole state would have to do it before
Oh yeah.
local places.
And
right?
we
That's how
would
it lays out.
we would take we take a lot of guidance from what the state does, and that's what we did with the medical. We're like, well, they are outlining how far it can be away from other things, and if we just say that medical dispensaries are retail, I don't have to worry about anything else. They can just go where retail is allowed, because your schools, your churches, I think, were excluded. Daycares were excluded, and so those bubbles really start to narrow.
Yeah.
Where
Well, if that
you
would
can
be
have
included
something.
in, like, ABC stuff, since they do tobacco too.
Oh man.
I wonder if they would pull that into their web.
I hope
let's
not.
hope so.
It's like, I mean, we don't sell tobacco, but I've seen it on the application. Like,
Yeah.
if you have tobacco, or whatever, like, you have to go through ABC.
So like cigarettes and all
Yeah,
that?
that's tobacco.
Really? Is that tobacco?
So I wonder if they would pull it in their web. Damn, that's a good. I never asked that one before. That's a good one.
Yeah.
I don't know that answer.
I mean, they would.
Oh yeah, they'd love
they
it.
would want to.
Yeah.
It'd really be a shit show.
I mean, we were talking. I was talking
Be
yesterday.
renewing jalapenos like alcohol, weed.
All of it. I was talking with Kyle South yesterday, and they mentioned, and I just completely dropped the acronym, the high noons and things like that. SRTs? Nope, that's not it.
RTDs.
RTD. What is that even? Ready to drink.
There you go.
Yeah.
STD is different.
It is different. Thank God.
Anyway, the RTDs and how that's just kind of stalled out. And honestly, that's fine. Like, force us into ABC stores to go get high noons.
Yeah.
It's fine.
It even sucks. Like Breeze talked about it with his package store. It's in next to Publix, and Publix is going to be able to sell them. Or eventually, he's like, that sucks because a lot of people buy them from me.
Right.
I buy them from ABC. They come buy them from me. Might get a cigar or a bottle of whiskey.
Yeah.
But if they can just go get them at Publix, like that's gonna cut my business.
Yep.
Like he was kind of upset about it for a package store owner.
Well,
I call
see,
that capitalism, though. I mean,
Missouri, I love Missouri's weird laws. We're the show me state, but
I thought that was New Orleans.
well, that's different. That's the show me street. But you can wander through Walmart. Like there was nothing like wandering through Walmart
Love a
after
good
church
Walmart.
on Sunday, and tucking your beer, your other alcohol in the back of your cart,
gotta
just
hide
in case you ran into somebody else from church.
can you buy liquor at Walmart?
Oh hell yes.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, like Buffalo Trace and shit at Walmart.
Like you got good stuff at Walmart. It's weird. I hate it. It just feels wrong. After living in so many states that have ABC stores and just being like, yes, glorious, all these random things, and you're like, damn, why does Walmart have Buffalo Trace? Like, this just doesn't
It is
feel
crazy.
right.
it was weird.
Yeah. If they ended up with things like Blanton's or Pappy's,
Surely,
I would just
surely
stop.
They do.
I've seen it sometimes.
What?
I've seen it before.
I can't.
Not in person, but like groups I follow on Facebook.
Oh, okay.
Somebody like, oh, I got Blanton's at Walmart in
No.
so and so city in Missouri. Go get it, and
Can't.
everybody.
Louisiana.
Yeah.
Walmart's have it.
So that was the first, running into drive-through not distilleries, daiquiri stores.
Yes.
So we had a place in Springfield when I was in college called Trops, Tropical Liqueurs, and you could get it to go, and they would give you a 151 floater.
Beautiful.
Mistakes. And as long as you just left the little cappy on the straw, it was like COVID times. You
Yeah.
leave the cappy on the straw. They
Once
didn't
you
care what
drove
you
off.
did.
That's you. Yeah.
Yeah. So we would never bring those back to the sorority house and then get ready for whatever event we were doing.
Yeah. Of course. Not.
Ever. That would be illegal.
Be weird. Yeah.
Yeah.
That'd be strange.
Yeah, that would be wrong. Very wrong.
That was some weird COVID stuff people bitched about. Like,
Yeah,
oh, you're gonna get
it really was.
margarita, like attacking us. Like, y'all are selling margaritas. People gonna be drinking and driving. I'm like,
They're already
they
doing
do it
that.
anyway.
Yeah.
They can go buy beer and drink and drive.
Right.
They can go to a restaurant and drink and drive.
Yes.
Now we're just saying take it home.
Yeah.
If you drink it on the way home, like
That's on you.
That's on you.
Yeah.
Right.
But
We
it's
did not encourage you to do this.
But it's just so weird because like, oh, we can go drink at the restaurant. That's fine.
Yeah.
And drive home.
Yeah.
Right.
Take it home. No.
Somehow that's totally normal.
We got attacked. I'm sure ABC City. Everybody got attacked.
Oh,
for
I
it. I'm like,
remember all of that. It was ridiculous. So that Black Warrior is my brewery of choice. And I love those knuckleheads. They are completely different from Druid City, but also
Yeah.
it's just a cute little relationship thing that they have. But I had a friend that was a bartender there during COVID, and she was running social media for them too. We were both living downtown, and so we would just go on walks. Well, since their industry, we'd kind of knock on the door and see what they were doing.
Yeah.
And go in and say hey to them. And
We're making hand sanitizer.
yeah. We'd go in and say hey, and that's how I ended up there.
With your mask on.
Yeah, always.
I almost wore a mask when I picked you up today because I saw
Oh, yeah.
when I was driving down Skyline, I saw somebody wearing a disposable mask.
Oh,
I'm like,
good
what
Lord.
the fuck?
Listen, I
So I was
opened.
like, I'm
Really?
gonna put a mask when I pick her up just to freak her out.
I opened a
Like,
work
can you,
bag.
Can you wear this?
Yeah. I was like, what are all these masks doing in here? Why are they in this work bag? And I was like, oh, COVID times.
I actually threw mine away that I had in my truck. I was like, shit. I was like, I'm never gonna use it.
What if I need this
And
again?
then today I was like, damn it, that would have been
Yeah. The only
Imagine
time.
you walk up to my truck, you're like, do I need to wear a mask? Like,
Yeah. What am I?
put this on.
What am I doing? The only time I've ever felt like since COVID mask restrictions lifted, we're like, I'd like a mask, is if it's super dusty and I'm mowing the yard or something. That's the only time. And even then I'm like, nah, just bring it in. Let's go.
They're
If
always,
I'm sick and I get COVID or something, I might wear one. I'm just
You
kidding.
might.
I won't wear
You might.
shit.
Yeah. What?
I
Sorry.
always felt like badass when we went to church and it's optional, and like I'm just like the only one of 600 people without a mask on. They're like, "You're not wearing a mask." Like, optional.
Optional. That's what optional means.
Pastor Jeremy said, "I don't have to wear it. I'm not wearing it."
Was he wearing one?
No.
There you go.
He might. I don't remember. I don't think so. Well, he was up on the stage, so it was different.
Yeah.
He probably had to wear
Oh,
one
wow.
when he got down.
That's fair.
I was always anti-mask.
Yeah. I had to wear it because it was City Hall policy. And the number of videos and things, because we pushed a lot of policy through during COVID. And it was like the student housing changes all happened during COVID. And I'm up at the podium having to adjust my mask and talking with my hands. And I'm just like, oh my gosh, like I'm going to start twitching. I remember there was one day I was clicking a pen aggressively and one of the planning commission members said something and I was like, I just had to put my pen back down on the podium. I'm like, I'm very sorry.
It was so hard to talk. If we all had masks here, I'd just be like, just days off. Be like, I can't look
Yeah.
at your face, look at your lips.
I have
talk
no
to you.
idea
Like,
what you're doing.
Okay,
Yeah.
whatever. Like,
I always had to sit in the front row because I like to see people's mouths move.
it's just weird. Just like this.
Yeah.
You don't know what's happening.
No, I hated that. I also hated seeing my face on video that close all the time with all the Zoom calls and things.
I never did Zoom. I was anti-Zoom too.
Yeah.
So I still refuse. If somebody gets on a call and they have their camera off, I'm like, we're not doing this call unless you turn your camera on.
Yeah,
I'm not
It's
doing
gotta be
it.
both sides. I agree.
Yeah. Like, I just don't want to talk to somebody's little square.
Mm-hmm.
No, thank you.
Yeah, anti-Zoom. I never FaceTime.
Oh, see, FaceTime's pretty cool, I will say.
My daughter FaceTimed me and asked me a question.
Oh, no,
I was like,
that's
just,
not cool.
Just text me. That's like the whole generation. They'll just like FaceTime
Yeah.
you like,
Oh, yeah.
Dad, what do you want from Chick-fil-A? I'm like, call
No,
me
just
and
text me.
Like,
Yeah.
I'm sitting there like looking at my fat face like laying in bed or something.
See, I appreciate my nephew will sometimes be like, call Aunt Lee because I'm Aunt Lee because Aunt Assie is not great. Aunt Ashy wasn't a thing. So we were like, well, it's either going to be Aunt Sassy or Aunt Lee. And we settled on Aunt Lee, which is perfect. And so he does not know my name is Ashley. The kid's 2.5 years old. We're just trying to see how long it goes. But he wants to call Aunt Lee and see Aunt Lee's cats. And
Well, that's different.
yeah, I want to see Beauregard.
Right.
I'm like, yeah, bud, I'll go show you Beauregard. Like, let me go find him.